Four numbers, like 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Coaches treat them like ancient battle formations. Pundits argue about them for hours, and most fans just nod along, pretending the numbers mean something specific. They don't, not on their own. A formation tells you almost nothing about how a team actually plays. It's just the starting position. What happens after kickoff is the whole story. Here is exactly how it works. Start with the basics. A formation is just a count. How many defenders, how many midfielders, how many attackers, read from back to front. 4-3-3 means 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, 3 attackers. 4-4-2 means 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 attackers. The goalkeeper never gets a number. Everyone assumes they're there. Convenient, really, when your job is the one nobody wants. None of this existed by design, by the way. It evolved out of necessity, one rule change, and one stubborn manager at a time. In the late 1800s, formations barely existed at all. Teams lined up with 1 or 2 defenders and as many as 8 attackers, because the rules of the time made it almost impossible to play any other way. Scorelines were enormous. Defending was an afterthought. Then, in the 1920s, a change to the offside law made attacking dramatically harder. English manager Herbert Chapman responded by reshaping his Arsenal side into the WM formation. 3 defenders, 2 midfielders, 5 forwards arranged like the 2 letters stacked together. For decades, this wasn't considered tactical innovation. It was simply how the game was played. By the 1950s and 60s, teams started pulling players back even further. Brazil won consecutive World Cups using a 4-2-4 shape, before the formation gradually deepened into the 4-4-2 that would dominate English football for the next 50 years. Around the same time, Italian manager Helenio Herrera built Inter Milan around an ultra-defensive system called Catenaccio, Doorbolt, adding an extra defender called Sweeper, whose entire job was cleaning up anything that got through. Unglamorous, often boring, extremely effective. Let's actually walk through the major modern shapes, because each one solves a different problem. 4-4-2 is the oldest survivor of that lineage. 2 banks of 4 plus 2 strikers. Easy to organize, easy to defend, and brutally direct. 4-3-3 trades 1 striker for a 3rd midfielder, usually to win control of the center of the pitch. Width comes from 2 wide forwards instead of dedicated wingers. 3-5-2, a back 3, drops to 3 central defenders but adds 2 wingbacks, players who defend like fullbacks and attack like wingers, covering the entire touchline alone, all match. 4-2-3-1 is the modern favorite. 2 holding midfielders shielding the defense, 3 attacking players just behind a lone striker. Flexible, balanced, and everywhere at this World Cup. Why bother counting at all? Because every formation is really just a trade-off between 3 things: defending, controlling the middle, and attacking. Add a player to one group, and you remove one from somewhere else. There's no perfect formation. There's only a formation that fits the squad you actually have and the game you're actually trying to play. Here's where it gets interesting. The same formation, on paper, can produce 2 completely different teams. 2 managers can both pick 4-3-3. One attacks relentlessly, pressing the moment they lose the ball. The other uses the exact same shape to sit deep and break forward on the counter. Identical numbers, opposite philosophies. The formation is the skeleton. The manager decides what kind of animal it becomes. And here's the twist most fans never catch. Formations change constantly during a single match, sometimes multiple times, without a single substitution. A team can start in 4-4-2 in possession, then shift into a back 3 the moment they lose the ball. The numbers you see at kickoff are barely a snapshot of minute 1. Whether you like it or not, the formation card lied to you the second the whistle blew. At this World Cup, watch for it constantly. Teams that look identical on paper can feel like completely different sports depending on how aggressively they press and how high their defensive line sits. The shape barely matters. The instructions inside it matter enormously. So here's the whole picture in one breath. A formation is just a count of defenders, midfielders, and attackers, born out of a century of rule changes and stubborn managers solving specific problems. Every shape trades defense for control for attack. Identical formations can produce opposite styles depending on the manager, and the numbers you see before kickoff are often gone within 20 minutes, reshaped constantly by what's actually happening on the pitch. The game has not changed. You have. You're welcome. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. It means a lot.